Things Legal, your chance to discuss legal issues, and you won't get a bill. To ask your legal question, call 504-260-1870 or toll free 866-889-0870. Now, here are your hosts for All Things Legal, Albert Nico and Doug Sunseri of Nico and Sunseri Law Firm.
Good morning, Doug Sunseri, Albert Nico, your weekend lawyers, All Things Legal. Give us a call, 260-1870 or 866-889-0870. You give us a call with a legal question, we'll give you a response, and you won't get a bill. We'll even talk some Saints preseason. We'll talk whatever you want. Legal. If they don't call, there's no calls, we'll be talking Saints probably.
We'll be rambling.
Because we talk about legal stuff all week, so we get to talk about the Saints. So either way,
if you want better radio, you should probably call.
You think so? We could do our Deacon Bobby impression.
Oh, good Lord!
Huh? We do
Which
that.
one are you?
I don't know. I don't know, but we could.
We can't copy those guys.
No, they can't. We just. That's what I tell Deke. I said
quite unique.
I tell Deke. I said for about 5 minutes we pretend to be you, and so. He's okay with that. So we had the Saints did have a preseason game. Very for first preseason game, it was very entertaining.
It was a fun game. The score was close, and you got to see players perform. I'm unlike a lot of people. I like preseason games. I like watching new players shine. Everybody busting their butt to try to make the team, and the guys that are on the bubble, trying to make plays, and sometimes it comes down to one or two plays in the preseason that might make the difference of whether or not you get cut or whether you remain on the team. But I enjoy it. I'll even watch the last preseason game when none of the starters play.
Well, there's several reasons why the Saints are, maybe the top three franchise in the league right now. Of course, you got the obvious reasons, Drew Brees. But there's probably another aspect is their scouting of undrafted free agents, which has, in the last 7 years, starting with Pierre Thomas, Kerry Robinson, Tyron Walker was a monster.
Yeah,
he was phenomenal, and the way they fill in Junior Gillette. Junior Gillette was an undrafted free agent.
Right. Yeah, Pierre Thomas.
Yeah. Broderick Bunkley. He wasn't. He was a free agent. They picked up off the street.
Right.
And so, it's just amazing that they've really filled in the gaps. And actually, if you think about this, also, the Saints have a phenomenal core of young players now. They have. We made the Super Bowl team from an aging team to a young team, and they have done that without 2 second-round picks in the past two seasons before, which is phenomenal. Because if you say 2 second-round picks, that's 2 starters. And basically, what they did was they were able to mitigate the loss of those 2 second-round picks by picking up free agents that was all 32 teams had the opportunity to get.
Sure.
And they didn't, and they found them.
Right.
Because a lot of times, and I think what's happening too is when you're an undrafted free agent, a lot of them, when we were doing this, I'd rather have an undrafted free agent than a 7th round pick, because at least we could pick what team we were going to a certain extent.
Right.
And I think a lot of the undrafted free agents come to the Saints because they say, a lot of teams will say, look, if you're a draft pick, we're going to give you the spot, and it's yours for you to lose.
Right.
Whereas the Saints say, we go by what we see. I don't care if you're an undrafted free agent or you're a 2nd-round pick.
Exactly.
And if the Saints busted on a 2nd or 3rd-round pick, they're going to cut him in a year or two. They're not going to hold on to him.
Right.
Or, they cut Al Woods. He was a 4th-round pick.
Yeah.
And they didn't care because they had somebody, undrafted free agent, who looked better than him. So players are attracted to that because they know, even though we're undrafted, if I perform better in the 2nd-round pick, they're going to keep me. They're not worried about the internal politics within the scouting saying, well, we got to make the 2nd-round pick make it or 3rd-round pick.
And you've got guys out there, too, that want to go to the Saints because they know the Saints have a shot at a ring.
Right.
So they're going to get out, they're going to train, they're going to play their hardest, they're going to – what I really like about the Saints is that they get real quality individuals. They're the people, not just their athletic talent, but they're good quality individuals. They give back. They're well spoken. They seem intelligent. They, you know, it's a lot of people, a lot of quality, you know,
well,
character guys.
What you have to do is buy into the concept that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. And a lot of football teams, Tampa Bay, they've signed a lot of high quality players. Darrell Revis, Carl Nix.
Mm-hmm.
They can't put it together for whatever reason, but you need, like what the Patriots do. They know how to plug players in. They know what their skill set is and what they need, and they buy into the team concept.
Right.
Because I think Coach Parcells used to say, if you had a talented player who didn't do what he was supposed to, he just got to the wrong spot quicker.
Right. Right.
And so, so I think the Saints have, from top to bottom, and in preseason, even the score is irrelevant. You cannot determine anything by a preseason game. It means absolutely nothing. You really look for individual performances, and you had Brandon Cooks, the real deal.
Right.
And so it was fun. It was a good, successful. Okay, we're going to transition to law.
Yeah, I think we got a call.
Okay, we're completing our Deacon Bobby imitation, and we're going to go to law. We'll be ourselves.
I don't know that we're completed it, but
we'll
we
probably
might
go back to it,
depending if we have phone calls. Right.
Let's go to Jerry. He's got a question regarding being injured on rental property. Hey, Jerry, you on All Things Legal with Doug Sunseri and Albert Nico.
Yeah, morning, Doug and Albert. I just got a quick question for you. I've been renting a house about 5 years now. I had a fall in the back in the yard and shattered an elbow and probably need surgery on it. Is it legal to file a claim against her homeowner's insurance?
What did you fall on?
On the ground.
I know, but was there a hole?
I stepped in a low spot on the ground.
Probably not. There used to be something in the law called strict liability, and they did away with that. I think it was in 1996 when they had some sweeping tort reform changes. But basically, now what you have to show in order to prove liability against a landowner, property owner, is that they knew or should have known of the danger and failed to take reasonable care or reasonable steps to correct the danger or the defect. Number one, you have to show that a low spot in the yard is in fact a defect, and you may have a difficult time doing that. The other step is you'll have to show that they knew or should have known that it existed, failed to correct it, and failed to act reasonably in doing so.
Yeah, now they've got holes all around the house. I mean, she's been needing filled since we moved in, been promising to put them in, and has never done it.
Okay, well, that changes things a little bit if she knew, and if you have some sort of email back and forth, a letter or note, and then of course you have to look at your lease and see what the lease says about who's supposed to maintain the yard, who's supposed to maintain, the it probably won't say anything about the fill, but if it says maintaining the yard and cutting the grass, you might have a better shot.
Now there's one other aspect that you may want to look into. Some policies will have a med pay provision that says if anybody's injured on a property, that some policies may pay meds up to maybe $5,000 regardless of fault. So that's for the medical bills themselves.
Sure, I just want some help in paying the bills. So, with the surgery, I know there's going to be co-pays and lost work,
So they may.
Sorry,
so you could check out that med pay on the homeowner's policy too.
Okay, and what type of attorney would I see to talk to about this?
A personal injury type attorney.
Personal injury.
Yeah.
I appreciate your help so much, and y'all have a wonderful day now.
All right, Jerry. Thanks for the call. All right, well, let's go to a break. Doug Sunseri, Albert Nico, your weekend lawyers, all things legal. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.